To the legal landscape, our legal analyst, attorney Dan Adams, joins us every Monday to break down the biggest cases happening across Wisconsin and the country. Dan, good morning to you. Let's start with the Tony Romo OWI case in Milwaukee, obviously seen all across the country, making national headlines. We've seen the body camera and the search warrant details. Legally, how significant is the evidence in this case? And even though a first offense OWI is typically a civil matter in Wisconsin, what consequences could Romo still face?
Sure. Hey, good morning, Jared. Yeah, the body-worn camera is very significant. In modern drunk driving cases, the body-worn camera basically is the whole ball game. Jurors, or in this case, a judge, will see how Romo's demeanor was in their own eyes. They don't have to take the police officer's statement for it. They can see it manifest itself, as we're seeing here on the screen. Was he or was he not intoxicated? And later, with the fruits of that search warrant, we can see what the level of blood alcohol was in his blood at the time when they took the sample. As you said, first offense OWI in Wisconsin is still a civil matter. We're the only state in the union that treats first offense OWI with no jail time whatsoever, no possibility of jail time. Bizarrely, we've been increasing penalties on repeat drunk drivers, but we've kept OWI 1 a civil forfeiture, which means he's has a potential fine. You know, it's around $1,000, 9 months of a driver's license revocation, but that's it. Now, ironically, because he refused the chemical test, in Wisconsin, like every other state, we have an implied consent law, which means as a driver, you consent to a blood or breath test if a police officer believes and has probable cause that you've been driving while under the influence. You are mandated to take one of those tests. If you refuse to do so, as Romo did here, and force the officers to get a search warrant, you have additional penalties. But again, because it's a civil penalty, we're looking at driver's license revocation. And here, the ignition interlock device, so that device that needs to be installed in the car to operate that car later on. This will be applied to his presumably Texas driver's license privilege as well, if he is found guilty of both those charges.
Yeah, we know CBS Sports has placed him on leave until further notice, so much more to come from that. Meanwhile, a Wisconsin appeals court has overturned a lower court ruling on Act 10 that struck down key parts of the anti-union law. What did the appeals court decide, and what's next in terms of Act 10?
Yeah, here we go again. Act 10 has been challenged basically from its enactment in 2011, kind of consistently with different court lawsuits and that and whatnot. Here, the plaintiffs dusted off a theory. It's been a long-time theory that's been denied and rejected by courts before, basically that Act 10 violated equal protection because it basically parsed out police and fire, public safety workers from the general pool of government workers. And they were not, and Act 10 was not applied to those public safety workers. And so the remaining public safety workers are saying, well, that's not fair. We are not being treated equally as these public safety workers are, and therefore it violates the state of Wisconsin Constitution. Again, this is a theory that's been, tried before. The Seventh Circuit, which is our federal appeal court, has denied it. Wisconsin courts have denied it. They brought it again, and the Dane County judge actually this time said, yeah, that works. And here the Court of Appeals said, no, it doesn't. This has already been through the courts before. Equal protection does not apply here. Now, it goes again to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. On some type of a petition here. They will hear the merits of this case as well because of the makeup of that court, given that when Act 10 was enacted, it was a very conservative court. Now it's a very liberal court. Whether or not they strike down the law remains to be seen, but they'll get the last bite at this apple going forward.
Yeah, the makeup of the court shifting over the weekend with Chris Taylor officially taking the seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Dan Adams, always great to have your insight and analysis. We'll see you next Monday for more of The Legal Landscape.